Hey everybody, clearing. All right, so this is going to be a DM eclipse check-in, and I'm just going to check real quick and see what are the DMs focused on through this October 2nd eclipse. What is this eclipse doing in the journey with these DMs in this collective? Thank you, Divine Creator, for showing us. What is the main theme? Clarity. Okay, so I've been channeling for months that the DMs are stepping into channeling more as a way of life. Be your own healer. So they are learning how to discern, decipher the things that are amiss, and they're setting records straight, I just heard. Honor the passing of time. I'm actually getting that they are being urged to speed up because so much time is passing. It's like honoring, respecting that in this dimension, time does tick, time be a tickin', accept earthly mortality. So there's, the feminine is such a lunar monthly cycle and the masculine is slower. It's an annual cycle. So with this eclipse, the moon is coming right in front of the sun, and there's this reminder to speed up is what I'm getting. Accept earthly mortality. So even though we're eternal and unconditional love has this timeless aspect about it, there's something about making the most of the time on this planet that the masculines are being asked to remember and celebrate immortal spirit. So, focus on that spiritual side that allows us to animate spirit in physical form, connect to the land. So there's something about the masculines grounding this. There's something very material realm about land, right? It's this dimension. It's the anchor for this dimension. So I'm getting very much grounding it, electrically grounding masculines, connecting to the land. Okay, let's have a look at what the masculines are clearing through this eclipse. Thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through for the incredible masculines that are on this brave journey. What can we see for what they are clearing? How are they experiencing their journey consciously on all the usual divine counterpart check-in levels? What would they say to their counterpart, their divine feminine at this time? How would they express these things if they had no filter, no fear? What would they say? What are the messages on their heart, on their mind at this time? What do the feminines need to know about what's going on for the masculines? How does it pertain to the feminine side of the journey, the energy? All right, what are the masculines clearing about the connection? Princess of Wands, they're clearing the need to know, the need to look like they have it figured out, the too cool for school energy. So this is the spiritual seeker going to the altar, putting down the burden, asking for a higher direction. So they're clearing out being in stubborn pride and ego that has to have the air of, I'm hearing aloofness, but the air of knowing and sort of that withholding energy, the resistance. What can we see for what they consciously are experiencing? Yeah, secretly they've got one eye on this connection. So if your masculine is aloof or taken a step back at this time, feminines, they are watching energetically at very least. They have not put this connection down. They're coming to terms with some layer of it right now that has, I heard, befuddled them. Nice word, guides. What would they say to you? I need more balance. So yeah, they're starting to catch themselves out consciously in games playing, I just heard. They can't just keep coming in and out and doing these spastastic motions. They're going to have to take more accountability. They cannot stop thinking about their divine counterpart. What do the feminines need to know about this? This is the truth. So this is a moment of proving ground. King of Swords, let your masculine come to these awarenesses on their own. Do not feel the need to school them, tell them, convince them. Just know within you what you are worth, what it would be ideally like at this stage. You know, it's easier said than done, feminines, but do a meditation to really come into the awareness of what would you like to see at this stage? What would feel balanced to you? What would the simple next step be in your journey from your masculine that would feel like peace coming in, that would imply balance? What can we see for what the masculines are clearing when it comes to their specific divine feminine? 5 of Cups, Lord of loss and pleasure. So this is in the inverse. So they know that any loss and pleasure is temporary. They are clearing the idea that once bitten, twice shy, I just heard. They're clearing the idea that they've ruined everything. Live and learn, I just heard. So they're trying to get rid of the idea that they have to grieve this if they make a fool out of themselves, or if they misstep, that it's all over. They're clearing that. What are they consciously feeling and thinking? Right now they're curious. They're literally curious about how they can come back from that, how they can come back from the brink. What would they say? I think we should see other people in the inverse. There's something about the way that they used to run to easy lovers, to karmic feminine energy, to other potential people, when they would become insecure. They don't need other people anymore. They're seeing those other people actually would feel cheapened. The connection isn't soul deep like this one, so it's not doing it for them. So Lord of loss and pleasure, we could be talking about impotence here if that relates. They might be having issues with that regarding their behavior and guilty conscience in this connection. They may also be having that experience with others. They may be quite frustrated about that right now, I just heard. So they can't bring themselves to see other people because they cannot go through with it, if you know what I mean. What do the feminines need to know? It has the makings of union. So this is where the mind, body, soul don't lie. We have to choose each other mutually on all levels for it to be sacred union. So right now, the masculines are going through a reckoning about this connection. There is enough evidence mentally, emotionally, and physically to prove to them who their person is. But it's up to each one of them to surrender to that knowing at this time. It's not your job, divine feminines, to impress upon your masculine other than keeping a healthy standard and knowing your value, knowing your worth. What can we see for what the masculines are clearing on the heart space regarding the connections? 10 of Cups, Lord of perfected success in the inverse. They're clearing the idea that they can't have a perfect relationship, that it is too good to be true. What can we see for how they're consciously looking? They know they have to get rid of half-assed energies. This is a lot of other belief systems, people, circumstances, patterns that aren't serving. And so they know that if they want the real thing, they're starting to believe that it's not too good to be true, but they have to be accountable, which means they have to raise their frequency by eliminating all these extra energies that are not beneficial in the highest. What would they say about this? Maybe in the reverse. So they know that beyond a shadow of a doubt, there's no more guesswork. There's no more ifs, ands, or buts. They know they have to get rid of something that's obsolete, that's not doing it for them anymore. They can't actually force themselves to feel invested in the things that are falling short now. They now see they are undermining their own success, their own shot at once in a lifetime love. So they have to stop playing games with themselves. What do the feminines need to know? Keep doing the inner work. It's working, feminines. So you're aligning with your value, which if you are entangled on a quantum level with a divine masculine, this is what is causing them to also elevate. This won't happen with karmic partnerships, but somebody who is aligned and meant for you, this does work this way. As you elevate with karmic situations, you will drift apart. As you elevate with an aligned one, you will come together. So that's a way to tell if somebody is your divine counterpart, your match. When you heal and focus on yourself, it aligns you. When you're in a karmic situation, the more you heal and focus on yourself, the more you heal and are able to release once and for all. What can we see for how these masculines, what they're letting go on the heart space about their counterpart? The foolish man, spirit of ether, being too intangible, being aloof. They're letting go of this naive energy is what I'm getting from that card. So they've held back and played dumb, I just heard. They have known more than they've let on. They just didn't know how or want to put in the work. It would have been too much of a leap to clear all these other patterns, beliefs, energies. But now they're beginning to see they're more foolish if they don't do that. How are they feeling in this? Yeah, they see where they're falling short of being a divine masculine. They see where they are now inspired to go all in. This is monogamy. I saw 1111. So this is the maturation of the player energy. This is en route to the real monogamous deal. So they are feeling like they are getting the hang of what it would feel like to actually be all in. And I'm hearing again, this can mean impotence with this wand in the reverse. So it's like they have maybe attempted to go back to previous lovers. I don't want to trigger anybody, but that could be happening in the energy. But just know their body is betraying them. They're not aroused by that. So they are now feeling like they don't have anywhere to run, and their old self-soothing and coping mechanisms are simply not working anymore. And this is on the heart of hearts. And so you better believe, feminines, if this situation pertains to you, it's not going to resonate with everyone, but if it does pertain to you, your masculine is thinking about you, and that is what is not allowing them to feel at liberty to enjoy other company. What would they say to you? I'm obsessed with your body. So nobody compares. No mistress, archetype, other option compares. There's something about the way the two of you click, experience each other. There's something about you as the ideal. So something about your body, your temple, your vessel does it for them in a way they cannot find anywhere else. So it's not just the physical, it's your soul. There's something magnetic. There is something compelling about the combination of your energy and your body. So they cannot find that in anyone else. And this is on the heart space. So they feel like a fool for thinking they could find it anywhere else now. Sheepish energy, embarrassed energy, foolish energy on the heart space. They are very much being convicted about this disconnect on this eclipse. The divine feminine, the moon, is coming into full in your face awareness, masculines. And so no other energies will do. It's so funny. I'm just laughing a little bit right now because I'm thinking of what the pictures I've seen of the second moon at this time, and I'm really feeling that this is to eliminate those other second energies, the other options. They're not the moon. They look like the moon, but they're not the moon. So masculines, there's only one divine feminine, only one moon. What do the feminines need to know? Free your mind from limited thinking. Free your mind from disintegrated thinking, from wallowing in woe is me energy. You might be feeling a lot of emotion right now because you're feeling your masculine's embarrassment that they could find you anywhere else. It's like they're very much having a coming to God moment about the fact that there is no other you. What can we see for what the masculines are clearing towards manifestations here? The Five of Wands, again, second time we've had this card, same position. They are clearing other options. They're clearing too many energies, too many beliefs, too many old outdated patterns, go-tos. They're clearing those crutches. What can we see for how the masculines are experiencing this? Their intuition is pointing to you. So they know with all of these things, they can no longer bring themselves to entertain earnestly. Their intuition keeps pointing to you. Every time another option falls short, you are the energy on their mind, before, during, and after. They can't not associate any other kind of rebellion that they're attempting to reach for comfort, to escape doing the work, leveling up, going all in. They cannot forget about you. What would they say? Have mercy on me. I need love. I'm a weak masculine. They are admitting their weakness. This is a very transparent energy because they haven't actually seen it so overtly before. Something about the timing of when they last saw you, what you've last shared together, they're very much not able to look you in the face right now, is what I'm hearing. What is the advice here? Yeah, there is a blockage, but it's not an entire blockage. We do have them peaking somehow, you know, admitting that they are thinking about and watching. There's some way through right now, but it feels like most of the normal channels, for some reason, are blocked right now. So there might be one or two ways that you could still actually communicate or connect with your masculine, but weird things like Mercury retrograde energies are wreaking havoc on communication channels right now. So there's something though that can get through, whether that's just energetically, but even energetically, it doesn't feel like the normal or status quo telepathic things even are getting through. It's like being blocked at this time. This is a card of blockage, but in the inverse like that, don't worry. Exactly what's needed is being exchanged. I'm actually getting with this psychic intuitive energy that the wing here on this swan is pointing to the one angle that can get through, which is coming correct. So masculines are understanding the eye of the needle here. All these other options are large and in charge in their faces right now and contrasted. It's very much divine feminine, other options. And the masculines cannot escape that right now, is what I'm hearing. So they want to manifest mercy from you. They want to see their hearts are being convicted as to how they could redeem themselves after this level of folly, is what I heard. What action are they wanting to take? What's being cleared for that? Wow, Two of Swords in the same position. Oh, the odds of that are very, very low that would happen. So what they're doing is trying to find that eye of the needle approach, that one minute angle that is heart strings point on point. What are they experiencing with this action? They need a miracle, divine timing, wheel of fortune. So they are really, I mean, they've tried, they've exhausted every single alternative. This is the kind of energy that validates that you are the best one for them. So not only have they put you through the gamut of every single personality test, integrity test, character test, but they are also testing other energies to compare. Like, these masculines want to go all in, but it's somewhat of a science experiment because they're doing it through their analytical mind, where they're sorting apples and oranges, and they're really fine-tooth comb, needle in a haystack. Like, they are looking for every single valid reason why you might not be the very best one. Don't take offense to that. Be honored. It's a sacred honor to be tested to this degree, feminines. And your masculine is literally tried everything. They're also flabbergasted that you're still around after all of this folly. But they have to know. They have to know for sure. What would they say to you? You hurt me, but that's okay, I guess. That's in the inverse. So what I'm getting from that is they're very much realizing that you have never hurt them intentionally. And if you have, it's been a mirror for sneaky, shady, deaky, weird energy that they have done, not maliciously, but out of insecurity or uncertainty or this testing. What do you need to know, feminines? This is happening in real time. So there is a layer of these connections that is coming to the surface right now to be seen for what it is and be dealt with once and for all with these masculines. What is the biggest challenge? What are they clearing regarding their challenge? Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands here is in the inverse, the same position that the Queen or King of Wands came out in. So we have divine counterparts, my King and Queen of Flames, of twin flames. This says Queen of the Thrones of Fire. That is the karma. That is the rite of passage. So you are also being tested by the divine right now, not so much anymore by your masculine, because as we saw, your masculine is going through the gamut of all other options, past, present, and potential future is what I just heard. And they are comparing and contrasting with your energy in a multidimensional spiritual court. Wow. So if you pass this test, if you go through the refining fire of this final test, feminines, and you don't disintegrate your self-worth and you maintain that you are their match, you know it in your heart, you know that you are worthy, that you don't lower your worthiness, that you don't cave. This is very promising. So this is the challenge, though, is that they know they're putting you through this inadvertent difficulty because they need to know certain things about other energies or other potential energies so that they know they'll never have a wandering eye with you in relationship. So they know that any of the things that they have been tempted by, that they've tried to repress, that they have felt peer pressured or have seen imprinted or stereotypes, any kind of kinks, perversions, anything that they would be concerned that they would have to hide from you in holy matrimony, they're allowing themselves to fully exhaust the curiosity of those things and get it out of their system, is what I just heard. So if you can maintain they won't find you anywhere, and you are strong enough to go through this time of spaciousness, this proving ground where they are, through total unconditional love, allowed to very much look at anything that might tempt them and overcome those temptations. If you're brave enough to handle that right now, feminines, this is what is going to clear the challenges. What is the challenge? This whole broken record, the back and forth, the walking away, the coming back in, the walking away, the leveling up. This is like a final test where there's not going to be any more of this broken record coming and going. What would they say to you about this? I want to get you drunk in the inverse. So they don't want to have to use any crutches within this connection to sustain the nerves, the jitters, or to compensate for any kind of lower vibrational secrets or sheepishness or embarrassment. They want to come to you without having to, pacify the nerves. They don't want to have any kind of buffer in there. They don't want to pretend. You are the one person that deserves their whole being. And this is one of the ways during this eclipse, apparently, is to face the unthinkable, the unmentionable, the biggest challenge. This is the gateway of monogamy, divine feminines. So what an honor to be at this level of refining. You are going through the refining fire. Your masculine is going through the refining fire. Oh my goodness. So stay in your high priestess energy, mercy, humility, compassion. This is transmuting on behalf of yourself, your masculine, your family, genealogy, the collective of humanity, society, cosmic incarnation as human beings. This is on every level. So go into meditation, transmute, Bodhisattva, Tonglen, breathe in the fear, the concerns, purify it through your heart chakra on behalf of yourself, your counterpart, your children, your parents, your family line, forward and backwards, and living now, all of humanity. We're becoming impeccable. It's not too good to be true. We can find a perfect match in one person, and we can love and cherish and honor and respect that person. But we have to face these demons. We have to face these temptations. We have to know ourselves well enough to know that those things have no power over us, and we have stepped into mastery. Wow. This is a big deal reading. Let me tell you, big deal, big deal. So hold the light, feminines, mercy, humility, compassion, forgiveness. This moment will never be again. We are only rising from here. These experiences that we are purging in these connections never have to be purged again, because this is doing it through the divine rite of passage. And as we cross the markers of consciousness, we work the puzzle of energetic match and mismatch. We see the inner workings of things that are not quite pure enough, and why. So there is a schooling happening right now. What is the solution? With the masculines knowing that they could lose us if we're not actually their counterpart while they're going through this dabbling in other energies, there is always the chance that this is a karmic relationship for some, and that those masculines will choose the other feminine energy. That does mean, though, if that happens, that means this isn't your masculine. And so they also have to run the risk that if they actually connect with another energy and do not prefer you, divine feminine, that they have to face up to that. And that can be very painful on both sides. Just because somebody is dabbling in someone else's energy doesn't mean that they want to hurt you, if that resonates for you, or that they know for sure that they're going to choose that other one. And if they do, and it's not karmic, then there's going to be another cycle before they're strong enough or balanced enough or aware enough or masterful enough to consistently choose you, divine feminine. So I'm getting that some of these connections are union ready after this. Some need another cycle or two to understand the layers of compatibility or alignment or the energetics associated with third energies. And some, very few that are watching this reading, but some are with a karmic partner and you're not meant to go forward. It's meant to teach you something, and so release with grace. But what is the solution here? 7 of Wands, inner bravery. So the cosmos are putting us through this catalytic event. What do the masculines experience right now? They're very much bowing to this challenge and humbly giving it an earnest interpretation. They're not being strong-headed about this. This is sincere for them. They are feeling, I heard compelled, but they are feeling it's a necessity to explore every possible alternative to this connection, so that once they say, I'm all in, they actually mean it. And this can feel like a cross to bear. And I'm not condoning recklessness here, but I am admiring the masculines for wanting to actually lean into anything that is authentically still a question for them, so that it can be balanced once and for all, and they have exhausted every ounce of curiosity about anything else. And so they are taking this as their sacred authentic truth right now, that they cannot bring themselves to go all in. And this has been a very painful sore spot, a contention within them, because a lot of them haven't wanted to talk about feelings because they've had these covert shadow temptations, lust, perversions, kinks, confusions, alternative scenarios, options. And if they were to come forward to you, it would not be settled on their heart of hearts. And they love you too much to do that. These masculines, cannot do that, but they're learning valuable lessons. You know, many of these masculines will go on to teach sacred sexuality and safety and intimacy alongside you divine feminines, because as you both come into mastery, you will be able to convey the inner workings, the inner knowledge, the gnosis of this path of mastery to the masses. You will be able to teach groups of people from a feminine and masculine point of view. You'll be able to give workshops, to talk to friends, family. You'll be able to describe the energetics in layman's terms from both sides of it. These masculines also have to learn the comparisons and the inner workings of it so that they are not, so they can trust themselves, so they can trust you, feminines. What would they say to you about this? Listen to your heart. So only you know, feminines, if this rite of passage is speaking to your scenario, but also, you know, if you actually trust your masculine, if you can actually envision your masculine in this way that's coming through here, and if you have the safety. If you are very, you know, jealous or imbalanced about these or triggered about this, you might still be at a karmic developmental stage where more understanding of energetics and what you're worth needs to come to the forefront. That is not a condemnation. That is a very real, genuine statement that if there's a lot of pain in this kind of message, that you are not yet at a place where it's likely to be union ready, because you will have unconditional love and you will see things as energetics and learning, and it won't be, you wouldn't be in a scenario that's being described here that is abusive or manipulative or doing this to harm you. This would be somebody, I think it's channeled through very, very clearly, but somebody who does not want to dishonor you in union by not being 1,000% truthful with committing to you. What is the advice for the feminines? This is the valley of the shadow of death. So things do have to go to a completely hands-off, completely death point. You know, the whole resurrection energy. We have to die to self. And every single sin, every single temptation has to be transmuted into the light, or it's not real at all. There is no real actual love if those rocks are left unturned. If people just shove down the temptation and never actually entertain the curiosity, it is always a ticking time bomb under the surface, and a divine feminine would feel that level of sin like it was the princess and the pea. So be so honored if you're hearing this message that you, divine feminine, are of that frequency that a masculine cannot come into union with you if there is a shadow of doubt left in them, and then Godspeed. What a message. What are these masculines clearing in the near future? Princess of Swords. They're clearing this watching from a distance. So this energy that has not allowed them to come in is also what keeps them at arm's length. And this is what they're clearing through these eclipses. They're clearing their inner turmoil, their anxiety where they can't look you in the eye. They're finding out for themselves what their truth actually is. Bravo, feminines, that you are strong enough and whole enough and healed enough to hold space for these masculines, because it is not an easy undertaking. I know I've been close to tears for the last 48 hours, and this is a resonant message, let me tell you. What can we see for what the masculines would say? I'm too afraid to talk to you. Yeah, because they don't know which way it will go right now. They don't know if they can trust themselves. So I'm hearing them saying, I'm going in. They're finding out for themselves right now. Their eyes and minds and hearts are wide open right now. And it's like they're scared of the dark, but they're walking into the dark to see what is actually there so that they can know. I'm seeing now like turning on the light switch and there being a cute little dust bunny, or turning on the light switch and it's the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain, not some big looming monster. So for many of these masculines that you are watching this for, feminines, they're going to be pleasantly surprised at what they find when they lean into their uncertainty once and for all. I think some miracles are about to happen with how much they do love you, feminines, about how much closure they're about to bring to a lot of extra karmic situations right now. This message is really, really striking me right now after the amount of emotion that I have felt over the last 48 hours. I've felt everything from the masculine's absolute rage, denial, envy, hate, frustration, insecurity, fear. Like it feels like the feminines are being protected from this right now. It's almost like this eclipse is the silencing of the masculine's ego. There's something so powerful going on right now. What can we see for energetic advice for the masculines that may have watched this? What is the most advice we can get here? Light body activator, luminosity, empowerment, and forward motion. You can't have anything real going forward if you don't do this inner work to absolutely correct anything that falls short, masculines, and only you know your truth. What can we see for the feminines? Pleasure, celebrate life, engage in your passions. What you seek is seeking you. Love with your whole being. Release control of others and your masculine. Be your own beloved. Okay, love yourself and your masculine will love you too. Many blessings. Namaste.